Hello everyone, welcome back guys. In previous video we have started with the electrochemistry part, and in that electrochemistry we had a brief intro on what we are going to learn in this chapter. Before moving for that chapter, we will clear with some basic concepts like what is the difference between electrolytic conductor and electrochemical conductors. We are also going to learn what are electrodes, cathode, these simple definition, and anodes, whom we are going to say cathode, whom we are going to say anode, and what is the function of electrode in any electrochemical or electrolytic cell that we are going to see. Before going for that, we are going to see the difference between electrolytic conductor and electrochemical conductor. Electrolytic conductors are generally solid, while as electrochemical conductors are in liquid or solution state. They are in liquid or in solution state. Now, as the name itself indicates, electrochemical means this is an electrolyte solution, and electrolytic conductor means itself indicates that those are current carrying conductors like metals like copper, iron, or gold, aluminum, the metals which are having free electrons. These free electrons result into the transfer of current. This is the second point of differentiation. Means there are differentiation points which can be asked. Not many of the times they are asked in board exams, but they can be asked in boards. So electrolytic conductors are solid, while as electrochemical conductors are in liquid or solution state. Second, for electrolytic conductors, metals are having free electrons. These free electrons carry current, while as in electrochemical conductors, charged ions are conductor of current. This is the second point of difference. Electrons are working over here. Electrons carry current through those solids. When we apply potential difference, means when, let us say this is metal, when I am having potential difference, the free electrons which are present in the ion will move from one end to another, and as the electrons are moving, there is transfer of current in opposite direction. Electrons move from negative to positive, while as current moves from positive to negative. Now these free electrons carry current, while as for solutions, the charged ions are carrying current. The third point of differentiation is what? If we are seeing a cable, the atoms in that cable are steady, they are not moving, they are not leaving their position. The atoms are steady, they are not leaving their position, only electrons are moving. But in electrochemical conductor, the ions which are present in the solution, they move or they dislocate their position, they move throughout the solution and they carry current. So in this way, this is our third point of differentiation, where electrolytic conductors and electrochemical conductors can be separated. The fourth point of differentiation is what is the effect of temperature and pressure on conductivity of solids and liquids. Now if we will see for solids, with the increase in temperature, conductivity, we all know, conductivity decreases, there is loss of current. With the increase in temperature, the atoms which are present in that solid vibrate more on their mean position. That means we can say that if we try to carry current at 0 degrees Celsius through copper wire, it will be more effectively transferred, while as if we try to transfer current at higher degree Celsius, like about 40 to 50 degrees Celsius or above that, the current conducting efficiency decreases and there is loss of potential and loss of current over there because the atoms are vibrating in that metal. So in this way we can say that with the increase in temperature conductivity decreases, while as what can be the condition? There is same condition also, means we can say that with the increase in temperature the resistance for electrochemical cell also increases. We can say that. I am just suggesting that this is also a possibility. So let's see what will happen with increase in temperature over here. What do you think that what will happen with the increase in temperature of the solution? Now, as we are increasing the temperature, the volume of that solution will increase. As the volume increases, the ions which were initially undissociated, they will dissociate, means there is a possibility that the conductivity will increase with increase in temperature for electrochemical conductor. With increase in temperature, there is a possibility that the conductance will increase for electrochemical cell. And what about pressure? What will be the effect of pressure on the conductivity? There is no effect of pressure on conductivity of metals or electrolytes also. But there is a possibility that there will be variation. There might be some variation in pressure with respect to the electrochemical cell, but as it is in liquid state, that can be neglected. It is a negligible change. So in this way, first we have learned that what is the difference between electrolytic conductor and electrochemical conductor. These are the 4 points of differentiation between these two conductors. Okay. Now in this chapter we are completely going to study only electrochemical conductors and not electrolytic conductors. So now in electrochemical conductors we are going to need to understand what are electrodes and what is the role of electrode in electrochemical conductor. These are 2 electrodes. Electrodes are those solid rods which are inert with the electrolytic solution. Means these electrodes do not take part in any chemical reaction in electrolytic cell. But in electrochemical cell, there is a possibility that these electrodes can take part in chemical reaction. They can interact with the solution and they are the source or the surface through which there is transfer of electrons throughout the solution. In electrochemical cell, there is a possibility that these electrodes might interact with the solution. These electrodes are the surface available for the electrons to move through the electrical circuit and go to the next electrode, next rod, and there is a circuit completion where there is transfer of current. These are what known as electrodes. In these electrodes there are 2 names, those are cathodes and anodes. Cathodes are those where always reduction takes place. Cathodes are those where always you will be seeing that the reduction reaction is taking place at cathode always, and anodes are those where oxidation reaction takes place. Cathode, reduction, anode, always oxidation. Now there is definition in the textbook given with respect to the charge, but I am not going to give that definition over here because in electrochemical cell and in electrolytic cell the charges on anode and cathode changes. Okay, the charges on anodes and cathodes changes. That's why I am not going to give that definition. I'm just going to say that cathodes are those where you will be observing reduction reaction taking place, and anodes are those where you will be observing oxidation reactions taking place. Now we all are aware of electrodes, what is cathode, what is anode, and the cells. Now if you will go through the textbook, you will understand that I am not following the textbook. What I am doing is I am first clearing up the basic concepts, and based on those basic concepts then we will move for molar conductivity and other parts which are present in the textbook. First thing which I think which is most important for you is to understand the difference between electrochemical cell and electrolytic cell, which is highly important. If you are able to understand the difference between electrolytic and electrochemical cell, then and then only the further chapter will be easy for you to understand. So based on that, first we will see what is electrochemical cell and electrolytic cell. As we all know, electrochemical cells are the cells where chemical reaction is converted into electrical energy. Electrochemical cell means what? Chemical reaction which is taking place is converted into electrical energy, and electrolytic cell means what? Electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. In electrolytic cell, electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. Now if you will see, electrochemistry is having wide range scope right now. Why? Because new bikes are coming which are based on batteries, rechargeable batteries, efficient batteries. We all know instead of fuel now we are having electrical bikes, correct? So those electrical bikes run on batteries. If you are able to have a battery which is more efficient, which can run for a longer range, then you are having an efficient battery and you can earn a lot from it. Means what? This electrochemistry part is going to help you to improvise the efficiency of the batteries, because based on the different reagents which you mix up with each other, based on that you can identify which is the most efficient solution which will get recharged faster and react slow. Okay, what I am saying is that the reverse reaction, like let us say R goes to product and product goes to reactant K1 and K2. Reactant goes to product should be slow, means the electrical output will be more and number of electrons should be more. Means if there is only one electron, then if there are 3 electrons taking exchange between this from our reactant to product, it will be increasing the output, and that output will directly lead to the increase in the efficiency of the bike. And K2 should be fast, means product going to reactant, the rate of product going to reactant should be fast, means the battery should recharge between 2 hours or 1 hour. Right now if we will try to recharge the battery, it takes about, like let us say 8 hours. Normal they give us a supportive unit by which we can recharge our bike. That rechargeable port takes about 8 to 9 hours to refill the battery completely. So if product to reactant reaction is fast, then what will happen? The time required, 8 hours time, will be reduced to 4 hours. Means we all now are having in our mobiles Whoop quick recharging, means within 5 minutes of recharging, mobile gets recharged up to 20 to 30%. Means this is what? Fast recharge. Within 5 minutes 20% of the battery is charged, and that drain of that battery is slow. Are you getting what I am saying? Is means what? The battery drain is less, but the recharge rate is more. Means if this same concept is used in our bikes, recharging time will be less and the efficiency will be more. So in this way, these electrical cells are now getting used in our bikes. Secondly, we are working on using fuel cells for the generation of electricity and running most of our electrical appliances on the fuel cells, because hydrogen and oxygen are easily available. Those hydrogen and oxygen, when combined with each other, they give large amount of electricity, and that electricity is sufficient to run a whole house. Means a small unit can be used to run a house. And it is easy that water, we are having ample amount of water can be electrolyzed. Means water can be broken down into hydrogen and oxygen. Again we can react those gases to give us water. But the problem over here is the potential required to break hydrogen and oxygen is about 2.5 volts, let us say 2.5 volts, and the voltage which we are getting by combining hydrogen and oxygen is about approximately, let us say, 3 volts. Means 3 volts, from 3 volts 2.5 volts is utilized, and only 0.5 volts can be used, 0.5 volts can be used for any electrical appliances, which is not sufficient. That's why now people are trying to work on how we can electrolyze hydrogen and oxygen atoms easily at less potential and more effectively. So the research is now being done on electrolysis of water for a longer range. So in that way we can understand that electrochemical cell is a cell in which chemical energy is converted into electrical energy, and electrolytic cells are those where electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. So in this way we are going to study the next part. Now for electrochemical reaction, I will draw a cell which will help you to understand what is the electrochemical cell and electrolytic cell. At this part I am drawing electrochemical cell. I will be explaining what is salt bridge. And here I will be drawing electrolytic cell. This is salt bridge. Here we are having electrodes. These electrodes are connected to a key, and to that key we are having a galvanometer, or we can say that there is a bulb also. Galvanometer also shows us the transfer of current, and even bulb or LED can also explain us what bulb or LED can also explain the transfer of current over here. Okay, and in this case we are having salt bridge over here. In salt bridge, these are two electrodes. These two electrodes are having key, and here we are having battery, and then the battery is attached to the electrode. Now we will say that this part over here is anode, this is cathode, this over here is anode, and this is cathode. This is example of electrochemical cell, and this is electrolytic cell. Let us have a simple reaction. Sorry. This is a simple displacement reaction which we all know. This is copper electrode and this is iron electrode. Now, as you can see, what is happening over here is this solid metal. Here you can see Fe is having 0 charge over here because it is solid in state. Cu will have +2 charge because SO4 has -2 charge. We have seen this in redox reaction. Cu will have +2 charge and SO4 will have -2 charge. Cu is solid, that's why it will have negative charge, and Fe will have +2 charge. Now if you will see over here, Fe is getting oxidized, means it is losing electrons, and copper is getting reduced, means it is accepting electron. We all know anode always gets oxidized and at cathode we always get reduction. Okay, so we are having oxidation reaction at anode and reduction reaction at cathode. So Fe is getting oxidized, that means what? Fe electrode, solid Fe is getting converted to Fe2 plus ions. I will write down this reaction separately over here. Fe solid is getting converted to Fe2 plus ions. As you can see, Fe is getting converted to FeSO4. That means Fe is losing electrons and getting converted to FeSO4. Means Fe is getting oxidized. Now when Fe solid is getting converted to Fe2 plus, it is losing 2 electrons. These 2 electrons are placed at anode. Then these 2 electrons move through the electrical circuit, and when we put on the key, what happens is these electrons move from anode and go to cathode. And at cathode, what is happening is Cu2 plus is taking those electrons and getting converted to solid. Means Cu2 plus, which is present in the solution state, is getting deposited on copper electrode. Means what? The electrons which are coming from the circuit to anode, these electrons are absorbed by Cu and it is used to form a copper electrode over here. That means what? This is what? An electrochemical cell where there is transfer of electrons, and when there is transfer of electrons, there is formation of current. Anode gets oxidized, cathode gets reduced. Electrons are present at anode, that's why anode will have negative charge. Electrons are absorbed from cathode, that's why copper will have positive charge over here. Now for electrolytic cell, anode always have oxidation and cathode will always have reduction. Now in this case, what will happen? FeSO4, here we will have Fe electron, CuSO4 and Cu electrode. Now in this case, what will happen is the same process will take place, but what will happen? This anode will have positive charge and cathode will have negative charge. Why? Because once the electrons are given by Fe over here, once the electrons are lost by Fe, those electrons are absorbed by the battery. Okay, these electrons are not freely moving. These electrons are absorbed by the battery. That's why this electrode becomes deficient of electrons. Electrons are present in the battery. Battery then donates the electrons to copper. That's why this cathode will have negative charge. This is electrolytic reaction. This is not correct example. FeSO4, this is not an exact example. As we have seen this reaction over here, that's why I have just used the reagents over here same as it is to reduce the confusion. But this is not the correct example over here. What I want to tell you is just focus on that point, don't go for the reagents. The point is what? As we are having battery over here, anode will always undergo oxidation, but here in electrolytic cell it will have positive charge. Electrolytic cell anode is having positive charge, in electrochemical cell anode is having negative charge. Why is this happening? Because the ion which is donating its electron, those electrons are themselves moving to cathode. At cathode, as what we can say, the supply is according to the demand. Means if we are having a buffet, in that buffet only the required amount will be distributed. Here what is happening? Forcefully, few the food is taken away and given excess to the next part. Is that clear? So in this way, these electrons are moving by themselves in adequate amount. Copper is pulling those electrons and getting reduced. That's why this will have positive charge, this electrode will have negative charge. In this case, what is happening? Oxidation is taking place. The electrons which were at anode now are getting absorbed by the battery, and battery itself is forcefully giving charge to the cathode, and cathode will have negative charge. So in this way, this is the difference between electrochemical cell and electrolytic cell. There are differentiation points in our textbooks. You can go through them. This is a salt bridge. This salt bridge is important because if you are not using the salt bridge, there is no electrical contact or there is no exchange of electrons between these two cells. So for the ions to move, for the K plus ions, this salt bridge is made by KCl, saturated solution of KCl and agar-agar gel. Saturated solution of KCl and agar-agar gel are mixed together and they are filled in this salt bridge, and they are sealed by cotton from the bottom. So K plus ions are replaced from that bridge and they help for the electrical contact between these two solutions. So this is half cell cathode and this is half cell anode. So the next part of electrochemistry we will see in next video. I hope you might have understood the difference between electrochemical cell and electrolytic cell.